Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say.
And welcome in. We are back, guys. Can you believe it? Season 17 of Ready to Love, and we are back. Season 17 is centered in Denver, Colorado. How's everybody out there doing? What's the weather like where you are? Welcome in, welcome in. Kimberly, how's the weather there down in, is it North Carolina?
Yes, the weather is beautiful today. I think it was
Yes.
about 70s, and I was
Okay.
overdressed for church today because I was expecting colder weather.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Hey there, Colton. Beautiful podcaster missing in action. That's Roro for real. Missing in action will be back soon, hanging out with the fam. I understand, girl. I understand. I understand. So thank you for checking in. Oh yeah. Hey, High Vibe. How are you? How's everybody? Those of you in the bushes and those of you to come later on the replay and later doing the podcast, because we know YouTube will send out them notifications late as heck. He he double hockey stick, right?
Yes, yes.
And to your point here in the north a little bit, here in Detroit, Michigan, I was out walking earlier today, and it is a glorious fall day. Now I can't say it's 70 here; it's more like 52 or 53. But what I
Mhm.
loved about it is the beautiful shades of the fall, the autumn leaves, and the reds and the yellows and the
Yes,
oranges. And it was sunny and bright, and I just had a nice brisk walk, so that was good for the soul.
awesome.
Yes, that was good for the soul. So I'm still waiting to hear back from my art director and art person, and who normally does my guys, forgive me today, but who normally does my overlays with the couples. So when we do mails, we always try to have those overlays with the couples, because people are like, who is that? I don't remember that one. And is that the blonde one or the brunette one or the black one or the white
Right.
one? Hey, LMV, welcome in, girl. We need you, girl. Drop some links for us if you can, girl. We ain't gonna be here we here for a good time, not a real long time, because this sister got 3 podcasts today. I was just
Yay!
telling,
Go.
yeah, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm excited for you. That's good.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you, Kimberly. You are always so positive and so supportive, as is LMV and Roro and all the people here. You guys are always so encouraging. Now, our goal. We said we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, guys. So be sure to share out, if you can, the video, share out this podcast, share out the other ones. When you don't have anything to do, check out a playlist or two. Check out a playlist. Cash App works fine, and so does the super chats and what do they call them? The super chats, and what's the other super thing?
Super stickers.
Yes, the super stickers. Those all work fine on my channel. I'm fully monetized, and we have a membership here, as does Kimberly. Right, Kimberly?
Yes, that's right.
So all those things help, and we look forward and we love your continued support, and we appreciate it, because it helps us to kind of stay out here in the algorithm and keep putting out recaps and videos and just really doing our thing for you. We do it for you guys. Yeah, Ellen. Yeah, this one 4:30. You ain't check our schedule. You're supposed to be on it. I started to hit you up, girl, but it's just been so hectic. It has been
Yeah.
so hectic today. Yeah, 4:30, 6:30, and 8 with Tequila. So I know you'll be back for Tequila because we're gonna need all hands on deck for Tequila, girl. That is what I'm calling Tequila. I'm giving her a new name. Her new name, not a new name, but a new caption. I see her as our Dallas diva. And we're gonna really
Oh.
get into it this evening. Kia, Simone, and I. We're gonna get into it with what happened during her time on RTL, who did what. We're gonna get all the tea out of her, and she is determined to tell her side of the story, and about some things that have been going on in the RTL streets. I'll put it that way, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yes, thank you, Ellen. Thank you for dropping that. I see that. I'm gonna put that in the starred category so I can use that later. Hey Mimi, welcome on in, Mimi. How you doing, girl? Welcome, welcome, welcome. But we're gonna go ahead and get started because like I said, today I can't afford to linger too long, but I will say, let me ask this question to all those out there in the chat. What did you give? What grade? I'm going to ask this to Kimberly next. What grade, chat, would you say you would give this episode of Married at First Sight? Because I think a lot of people, I tried to tell my members and things like that, that I think they would be pleasantly surprised. And when I watched it, I gave it well, I'm going to ask you, Kimberly, what grade did you give it? What grade did you give it?
Oh man, let me see. I would say a B.
That's it. That's exactly the grade I said. I didn't want to influence you in any way, shape, or form. But that's
Yeah.
the grade that I gave it. I could not, in all good conscience, give it a C. I said I
Nope.
gave it a B. What grade do you guys give this this first episode? Let's just say first. Yeah, I thought it was a B, a good solid B.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. I really, really did. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that all is well. You're healing from you says it's the last date.
Oh,
Okay, okay, all right. That's C19. We can't say that word on these YouTube streets, girl. They'll tear my whole
right.
channel down. These folks, girl. We can't say that.
Yes.
Lots of things we can't say. But you heal and relax and recover, girl. Watch you a few
Yes.
videos while you're recovering. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Kimberly's
Right.
channel and mine as well. Stay, and those of you who don't have Kimberly reviews, pick her up. Pick her up. Here's the link. Thank you, LNV. Thank you for that. Pick her up. But what great though, Mimi, while you're in the chat, those of you that are in the chat, I know it's people always hiding in the bushes, but I'm telling you now, get it while it's hot. Go ahead and subscribe now, because those of you that come over, that 60%, I think, of my viewers that watch hours and hours of our video, and I appreciate you. But if you're gonna want to chat later today with Tequila, you're gonna have to be subscribed, because it is subscribers only chat. And that's usually how it is with most of my lives, to keep trolls out and to kind of keep some kind of semblance of control, and to make sure that it's very safe for Tequila. We just have it subscribers only. But anyway, guys, we gave it a B. What did you guys decide to give it? Colton did. Okay. Uh, okay, okay, Ellen V. That's fair. Ellen V has her comment. She says, "I can't grade it. I can't grade it." I'm not sure why she's saying it. We're gonna talk. I'm a text her later. I'm a text her later. If not today, tomorrow, I will text her and find out what the inside scoop is with my moderator, beautiful moderator extraordinaire. She'll tell me. She'll give me the real deal. Oh, okay. And okay, so I guess that's why nobody's giving grades yet. So okay, but if you're out there and you're watching it on the replay, drop it in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section. So we'll keep it moving along. I thought it was interesting. I enjoyed it. And like I said, I gave it a B. So we open up with the scene with the gentleman. His name is Michael. And what would you call that hairstyle? Is that like an asymmetric bob that he wears?
Yes, that's what I nailed it. It made me remember my asymmetrical bob I had years ago, probably 10 or 15 years ago.
Right. Those were all the rage back then too, weren't they?
Okay. Yep.
Uh-huh. Yep. So he has like an asymmetric. So we noticed that, like a lot of math participants and castmates, Michael is a little eclectic, I guess is maybe the word. I don't know. He's got his own style. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, he's got the asymmetric bob going on. But anyway, he's in his nice tux and he looks, he's did up to the nines and he looks good. He's at the altar and he's waiting. And but I thought was interesting. The first thing I noticed is besides the asymmetric bob is that he's got a crown on his head.
Hmm.
Woo, child.
And a sword. And the sword.
Huh? Oh yes, yes, yes. The sword. He has the sword by his side. I said, okay, so maybe is this in honor of Bay? Is he part of the Beehive? Is he a Renaissance man? Because that
No.
Renaissance. Remember, they have Renaissance festivals every fall here. I don't know about where you guys live at, but in Michigan, every fall we have a Renaissance festival, and people go back to Renaissance times with the knights and the kings and the queens and all that kind of stuff, and they wear that stuff. Yeah, you're asymmetric bob. That's right. That's right. So I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, he's there at the altar, and the young lady, she comes up. We don't get to see her face. So this is the tricky thing. We don't get to see her face. We just see her silhouette, her dress, the back of her. And then she gets up to the front and she turns to him and she says, I can't do this. And I'm like, what? What are
Terrible.
you terrible? What are your thoughts? Do you think it's nerves? Is a case of nerves? What do you think is going on?
I'm not sure. And I don't like that they did that because I'm sure the paperwork had to be signed by now. So how was she able to just get off scot-free? I want to see who this lady is. I want
Hmm.
to know if maybe she knew Michael from somewhere else. Maybe she wasn't attracted to him. It's just so
Mm,
many questions in my mind. Like, how do you walk? First delay us 20 or 30 minutes and then
hmm.
get all the way down the aisle in his face and say you can't do it. Why not back out before now?
Right,
Yeah,
right,
I'm,
right.
I'm
Why not back
lost.
out? We're lost. We're lost. We're totally lost. I said, did she get there and maybe that crown turned her off? Who knows? Hey there,
Right.
Mo.
And I saw something about that on Facebook. We'll get into the crown and stuff a little later. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. And Ellen says, yeah, they have that Renaissance. Yeah, that's what the term I was looking for too. The medieval festivals. Yep. They have it. They have it all over in the United States. So that's what I was thinking. Was he going for that? What was he really going for? Because I think it's nice to have unique style, but sometimes to be
Hmm.
intentional, especially on your wedding day, and not just do something for attention or to look crazy. Sometimes
Right.
that's kind of nice too, but maybe that's just me talking. Maybe that's
I
just me
agree.
thinking. I don't know. So we go. So after we do that, they do that scene, and then they say going back 2 weeks earlier. So now they take us back, and I'm gonna go through my notes real quick for the couples. So we have after Michael, we don't know who Michael was with. So couple number two is Emily and Brennan. Now I can only describe them. Like I said, I don't have the photos and the overlay right here, but I'll have it up next week. I promise you. Emily is the blonde chick that okay, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to give you my reel right now. I think Emily comes across as very stuck up, and she comes across as a little spoiled. So if that helps you with Emily, and she got a kind of like a little pudgy nose, so that's Emily. Now Brennan, it's easy to describe Brennan is fine. He a fine white boy. If I was younger, I ain't got no problem with interracial dating. Brennan is fine, fine. Okay. He
Hmm.
fine, fine. That's all I can tell you. He fine, fine. And when I get the picture up, you're gonna agree with me. He is fine, fine, fine. So Emily did quite well to get the fine, fine guy. She didn't get no funny looking guy. And on top of it, he's actually masculine too. Oh Lord, child, honey.
Yes. Yes.
I
That's
would run
always
her.
a plus.
That's a plus, girl. I would run her over if I was their age. I would run her over to get to Brennan. I promise you I would. I will run her over. I would run right over her. I said, "Do you like chocolate? Because I'm chocolate. I like you." But anyway, we get into finding out a little bit more about this couple. So we find out that Emily, she is she is 29, and I will say she is ambitious and she is successful. She is what does Emily do? Do you recall? I think she's into computer sales. Was it computer?
Maybe so. I did terrible with getting titles this time around. I barely got the ages.
I thought I had it in my notes, girl. And then wait a minute. The killer part is when you look at your notes and you can't even read your notes.
Oh
You can't
no.
even read your notes. Okay, well, I'm gonna say this. So she's all she describes herself as the life of the party. Guys, does that mean she's wild? What does that mean when they say she's the life of the party? Do that mean she's a wild child? What do
Yeah,
y'all
I
think
think
down there?
so.
Because when we see her at the bachelor party, but we gonna get to that. you you a mess,
Mhm.
LMV. She going back to Michael. She said he's a king. Yeah, we done had enough of them kings. We're ready to love. Like, oh Lord,
Not
we
a
got all
king with an A.
with an A girl, with an A. He a king. He a king girl. Ooh, child. These people too much, too much. But yeah, but she's the life of the party. I did like the fact that she talks about her parents. They've been happily married, or they've been married. We don't know how happy they are, but they've been married over 30 years. Same husband, same wife. So that's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
She has a sister. Now I watched the matchmaking, and this is so terrible, just a couple of weeks ago. But I can't remember if she's one of a twin, because I know we got another girl we're going to talk about her later, who's part of a quadruplet set. But I don't know if Emily, guys, write it in the chat if they are part of write it in the chat if you know if oh thank you. I think
Hmm.
I'm not sure if they're part of a twin set or what's going on.
Yes,
But
Emily is.
oh, she is part of a twin
Hmm.
set.
Yes,
Okay,
she's a
okay, because
twin.
okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so Emily is a twin. So she's a twin. She's in computer sales. She's only 29, and her parents have been together, so she knows what a marriage looks like. So I always like that with this show. I always like when people come into it from a married family, even if it's, like it could be a stepdad or a stepmom, but they've seen
Hmm.
marriage and they've seen the inner intimate functionings of a marriage, because I think for a lot of young people today that didn't grow up in a two-parent home, they don't really know what that looks like. And that's my
Right.
only concern with that. Now, getting back to fine Brennan. Ooh, Brennan is handsome. I got his notes. He's 28. He's a software consultant. I took a little more time with him, okay? And this is the thing about Brendan, though, that kind of concerns me, because as fine as he is, personality still matters. We find out that Brendan is a quintessential New Yorker, and he doesn't apologize. And he's kind of brash when he gets passionate. He can be loud, he can be in your face and confrontational. I'm like, okay, Brendan, you were doing so well with those looks. You were doing so well, baby. Mm.
Hmm.
You had any thoughts about Brendan while we're on Brendan? You tell me what your thoughts were when you met him this episode.
He is attractive now. We'll give him that. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this New York side of him, where he says when he gets, I guess, angry or some kind of word he used, that his New York
Mhm.
side tends to come out a little more. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to work with him and Emily. Because like you said, Emily is ready to tumble. She's ready to go forward. So we'll see what happens with this couple. And he just seems to be looking for someone who is more calmer than Emily. So Emily is reminding me of Virginia. So I don't know.
Oh, oh
I don't
gosh.
know.
Kind of like Virginia. And you know what? That was enough. We're coming to that. We're gonna come to that in a quick minute
Okay.
about that drinking side, that drinking. And you know what? Because I wonder if that's tied to now, guys. I don't want to put nothing on nobody to call them a near alcoholic or anything like that, because I don't
Right.
know. But I noticed this is a thing, and I'm just saying now. So Emily has this thing. Hey, Kirby. Emily has this thing where, as a Caucasian person, when she flushes in her chest area. So, she's got this gown where she's showing her beautiful cleavage. But when she gets flustered, she turns all red down there. Her face turns red and she starts sweating like ain't no tomorrow. I'm like, girl, you a mess. Have you noticed that?
Yes. Yep,
Mm.
I did. And she did say she was, I guess, hot a few times right before she got ready to walk out. So I'm glad they're bringing that side out too, because I'm hot natured. So a lot of times people,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
nervous about that. So I sweat easily as well. So I can feel her on that part.
Okay, and see that, and I'm just the opposite. I think
Oh.
I'm cooler nature by nature.
Hmm.
And I don't, it's very difficult. Even when I'm working out, it's hard for me to perspire.
Hmm. Good.
Yeah,
Lucky
that
you.
Yeah, thank you. That's yeah, that's it. That's the term I was looking for, and I actually had that in my notes. Thank you for reminding me, Kirby. New Yorkers are very straightforward, and I'm not saying all, because there's never anything that's all black people, all Caucasian people, all Asian people. I'm never saying all of anything, but many New Yorkers are very straightforward, and some are to the point of being crass and rude.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say that, and I know some of these people, like some people that I know who are New Yorkers. I will say that I know that from those people from experience, and also from the time I've spent in the city of New York. You just think about, those people you meet that you do, I mean, that you see that you don't know, that will just literally run over you on the streets as people are walking, right? So that's
Right.
how I think how we get that stereotype of New York. And please forgive me, my special friend. She's out there. She's either watching or she's gonna watch this on the replay. I'm not talking about you, but now, girl, it's true. It's true for a lot of New Yorkers. Not all, but a lot of New Yorkers are very straightforward and a little on the crass side. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they just get to it. That's right, Mimi. They just get into it. So, okay, so enough about them. We're gonna move on to my couple who I really, really like. I'm gonna say this. Oh, and one last thing about Brennan. Brennan also comes from a family where they've been married for over about 30 years. So he's been in a two-parent home. So he's also seen how marriage can work. But he says, and what did you think about this, Kimberly? He says that his parents weren't able to communicate when he was coming up and he was younger. They argued a lot, and that he thought that sometimes they fought and it was very toxic, and he doesn't want that for his marriage. What did you think about that?
That's scary because I just don't know if he's ready to not be that person because he's already bragging about being a New Yorker, speaking his mind. So how is he
Mhm.
going to be different than his parents in this aspect because he's already coming into it like, yep, I'm from New York. He got the little Russia thing in him too. So
Yeah.
I don't
I
see where he's going to be much different from his parents.
I saw that at the end at the at the wedding when he said that his parents were Russian born. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, so New York and Russian. Ooh, child,
Right.
you got a lot going on. That's
A
like
lot.
yeah, a lot. That's like last season. What's the young lady that was always dipping in everybody's business? And she was from New York, and she was from an Italian slash Jewish family. I was like, oh Lord, ethnic group and stereotypes. But also you're a New Yorker. You can't help but be crass and in people's face. You got all that
Right.
working for you, against you, however you want to say it. But girl, okay.
Right. That was Nicole, wasn't it? With
Yes, thank you. That's it. Nicole. Nicole was all in everybody's face, all in everybody's business, telling the
Mhm.
men how to be better husbands. I'm like, girl, how you gonna tell a man how to be a better husband? Oh,
Right.
oh my goodness. So anyway, my couple, this is my couple that I am rooting for, and it may be an unpopular opinion. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be very in your face with this because you guys know I like interracial marriages. I believe in them. I believe in black women dating outside their race. So if you don't like it, oh well, I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. And you're entitled to tell me how you feel as long as you're being respectful. But the next couple up is Lauren and Orion. Or I'm sorry, Orion. I'm sorry, Orion. It's spelled like it looks like it would be Orion, but it's Lauren and Orion. Now, Lauren is third, or let me see. Lauren is 31. Yeah, she's 31, and Orion is only 27, and he is indigenous. Now, my girl Lauren, she's beautiful and she is African American. She's an African American lady and has a wonderful job. He's an electrician and owns his own business, so that's good. Sounds like he's in it to win it, right? The finances are financing, which is very important
Yes.
in a new marriage. Would you say, Kimberly?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Oh, good, good, good. And so I liked Orion. So we meet Orion, and he tells us about he's very proud of his indigenous Native American ancestry. He celebrates his ethnicity and his culture, which I think will be a great match for her energy because she's also proud of being Black, being an African American, and she's very well educated, and he's very talented and very savvy, right? So
Hmm.
I thought that the one thing that they highlighted, which some viewers might have lost them, was the fact that he said that he went on a date with a man. Now he went on this date with the man, and then he said, I guess there was a surprise kiss. So I guess the guy kissed him, and he said it was then and there that he decided that he was not gay. So I
That's
said,
what
all
he
right
said.
now. I said, all right now, you had to try it out. And, some people don't like to hear about that. I know, like, people from my generation, we're kind of a little more like, I don't know, in the way we think things should be. But,
Hmm.
you guys, your younger generation, you and those younger than you, Kimberly, they are showing us that you guys are going to date the way you want to date. Right.
Yes.
And I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
okay, you can't be mad about it. You cannot be mad about it that these young people want to date how they want to date, love how they want to love. Um, I'm not going to get upset about it, because then when we meet Lauren, she tells us that she would describe herself as either queer or a floater. Had you heard of that term before, floater?
I had not, and I haven't heard of queer in a long time.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
she
Now
took us
that
back.
right, it's back. And I was gonna say, you know what? Because I live near a suburban area where it's kind of a known area for a lot of socialization for LBGT plus community, and I've
Okay.
heard them say that queer covers more than to just say I'm a lesbian, or if I'm a man that I'm gay, or whatever. So they just queer is kind of like the from my understanding, and guys correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but queer is kind of like that word that covers it all. And
Mm.
a lot of people, and this, it's a thing, I guess, with a lot of people, they don't want to have a label on them. But she said, if I was to put a label, I would say I'm queer or a floater. Now, floater is a term I was not familiar with. But anyway, she goes on to say that she wants the strength and the protection of a man. So she chooses to marry a man. And she says she is going to be faithful and monogamous to that man. She is not going to venture off into any side relationships with women, even though she finds them attractive. And she says that she knows that she'll still find, as a married woman, she'll still find other men and women attractive, but that doesn't mean that she's going to cheat. What did you think about that?
I was surprised. This one surprised me because I've been wanting an interracial couple for a long time, but
Hmm.
now just to see that they're into or have experienced the same, gender stuff is
Hmm.
interesting. So I'm like, okay, let's see how this go. I'm loving Lauren and her natural hair though, so I'm all for natural hair. I
Yes.
am very concerned about this age difference. I do not like when they pair younger men with older women. I don't
Okay.
like that at all. So we'll see though, because Lauren may get a little of what she likes from him with the long hair, so he can switch it up. I think
Yeah.
he's handsome when he pulls it back. It looks better when
Yeah.
it's back. He would be very,
Yeah.
attractive with a good, nice short haircut. So I don't know. Maybe she'll get the best of both worlds with him.
Yes, because he said he's very open. His culture is very open to um, whether you're a man or not. Having masculine and feminine energy, and I thought that was very open minded of him. And I actually thought that was very intelligent, emotionally intelligent of him, that he as a man is aware of that. So I love that part
Yes.
about him. But also I think, yeah, for her, I think that he's going to be far more accepting of the fact that she is queer. She labels herself as queer. He's going to be more accepting of that, I believe, than perhaps many African American men would be, who would be in the same situation where they're automatically married to her. I don't know if they would be very comfortable with that. And
I agree.
speaking on that, we know that what the season of San Diego with Married at First Sight, we know that the young lady that was married to the real tall guy, oh God, her name just went right out my mind. It was in my mind and it just flew out. Dark skinned, tall, beautiful girl, thick, was married to the
Hmm.
skinny guy that had the that now says he knows that he has this disorder where his testosterone is low, and that's why we thought he was a girl. Remember, he was fighting with Nate.
Oh, yes, my friend. How can I forget my friend in my head? Yes.
What's her name? What's her name? You know,
Oh man.
guys, put it in the
Yes.
chat. Put that in
Right.
the
Please
chat,
help
girl.
us.
y'all know who we talking about. We can't
I
remember all
know
the
it was Justin, and
Justin is the guy. Yes, thank you. That's right,
uh,
Justin. What's that girl's name? What guys help
right.
Justin, right, Kirby. That's right. Justin is the girl is the guy's name, but what's her name? But anyway, what I was just trying to say to wrap that up. All I was trying to say,
Yes, yes.
Alexis is was told us that she was like bi curious or whatever, and then it
Mm-hmm.
comes out after the show ends, she's now married to a woman.
Right.
Or dating a woman. I don't know if they're married, but she's with a woman. I'll say that part. No, not
Mm-hmm.
Ashley. That wasn't Ashley. No, that was Alexis.
It was Alexis. Yep.
Yeah, it was Alexis, but close enough. Thank you. Appreciate you throwing that in there. Thank you. I really do appreciate that, Naomi. Yeah. So, but anyway, I was just saying that to say that I don't know if a lot of black men, a lot of African American men would be okay with that. I personally, I don't think they would. So I think that the fact that he is who he is, he's indigenous, and that he has himself ventured out and been curious about same sex relationships, I think he's going to be more accepting of her and more understanding of her. So that's my take on them. I think that she's going to like the fact that he's successful, with has his own business. He's educated and has this trade of being an electrician. And I'm gonna tell you something. Having worked in that field for a short period of time, that is a very highly paid trade. And so I'm sure he's making boatloads of money. So that's a good thing. So I think those type of things versus you being married to a dusty guy that barely has a job, just got a job, hasn't been in his field, his career field for very long. Those things could be high stressors on a marriage. So that
Mm-hmm.
is, guys, that is Lauren, our third couple, Lauren and Orion. Now we move over to Becky and Austin. Now Austin's the kind of real American, all American Caucasian guy that's bearded. He's heavily bearded and looks like almost like a lumberjack, if you will. Becca is the young lady with the pink hair, right? Now, what did
Yes.
you think about the fact that? So I'm just going to get right down to it as we get closer to the 30-minute mark or over the 30-minute mark. What did you guys think about the fact? I love Becca. She seems so sweet. She's also a wedding photographer full time. I think she owns her own business. But what did you guys think about the fact that she has an autoimmune disorder and that she's had major surgery and they found out that she has endometriosis? So at an early age of 31, she's dealing with quite a lot.
It
What you think?
is.
Yeah, what you think about
It is.
that?
I'm glad that she shared. I always like when they're willing to be open and explore, just giving us more knowledge about stuff that we don't talk about on a daily basis. But I hope everything works out for her, that she can still reach her goals and dreams. And I'm excited
Yeah.
just to see what happens.
Yeah, that's true. I am too. And who knows? There's so much technology, so much growth, and so much things that we're learning every day about different disorders and physical conditions that are going on. So she seems to be very positive and upbeat about it.
Mm-hmm.
Austin, for his side, he's very social, and the experts, Dr. Pia, says that Austin has a very high emotional intelligence. So I'm tending to believe that expert more so than those other two fake experts. Okay. What do you feel like, Kimberly? You think that Dr. Pia might know a little bit about what she's talking about and be on some real stuff?
I do, and I think it's just because we don't see her as much. But eventually, if they show her like they do Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper, we'll probably be feeling the same way about her. She's kind of protected right now because we don't see her much.
Oh, okay. Well, I did notice on the last couple of notes on him, I did notice that Austin was a plant dad in his home. I thought it was interesting, and I don't know if this is going to be a source of conflict because maybe not if Becca is real laid back and cool and not the jealous type. But two things. So he's a plant dad. I noticed that. But he also has a roommate, and her name is Kyla.
Mm.
What did you think about that? He's coming into the situation already living in a living arrangement with another woman.
I do not get it. Like, why? This isn't the first time either. I think maybe the second or third time We've
Yep.
seen this on Mavs. I don't like it. I would not want to date a guy. Why could you not find a male? Why could you not just have your own place? Are you truly ready for marriage if you can't afford to run your own home? Or maybe he's a 50-50 guy. I don't know, but I don't like it at all.
Now I don't know. I've been to Denver. It's been some years ago. Beautiful city, by the way. And I don't know anybody for just a quick thing. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Denver has one of the highest rates of good health in the country. It's rated as one of the best cities to live in because they have so much outdoor activity, and people tend to be joggers and walkers and hikers. If you live in that area and you live in that state, it's one of the best states to live in for that, right?
Hmm.
But I also think that because it's now becoming like a tech town, like a lot of towns out west, I think that it's also an expensive place to live. And to be really honest and fair, there are a lot of regions around the country where you cannot afford to live. I don't care, even if you are a young professional, you literally can't afford to live and try to save any money for when you do get married to buy a home if you're living alone. You're living in a place and it's $2,000 a month. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Moving.
Because yeah, because you're rent. But I'm saying, but you're moving. Right, right,
As
right.
a
But I'm
financial
just
coach, yes,
right.
move.
But I'm just saying. But everything. Listen. Everything that's close to your job is $2,000 or $3,000. Like you can't move, and when you move out far enough for the rent to be low enough and be affordable, maybe $1,200 or $1,100. Now you got a 2-hour commute back and forth, and I'm talking about one way to work. So that's not working. What are you gonna do?
Call me, the financial coach. I'll help you.
Ooh, okay, you heard her. You heard
I
her.
just don't believe in roommates at this big age. I
Okay, so
just
like,
don't.
what is the age where roommates stop being where you think it's not a good idea? So like, if you're just getting out of college, can you have a
Mhm.
roommate right out of college?
I would say so. Maybe a year. After about a year, you should be financially set to move on out and get your own place, whether you're having multiple streams of income. There are so many ways to get more money to live within your means. In my opinion, if you're having a roommate, you're not living within your means if
Yeah,
you
but
can afford it.
right. Okay, well, then here's my next question. Then can young adults that are single, can they go back and stay at home while they work full time? Is that a feasible way to do it too? Like,
Yeah, but
you
don't
talk about
date.
financial planning, huh?
Yes, but don't date until you're ready to, be on your own and you can provide what you need for yourself. That's male, women and men.
Right, right, right. You being right, you doing it, you saying it across the board. I get it. Right, 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 right. If it's not a home. Okay. Right. So I get what you're saying. So we'll move on, but that is who was I talking about? See, that's why I need my ADD.
The roommate, Mr. Austin.
Yeah, Mr. Austin, thank you. He has the female roommate. And so last couple, fifth couple, Cameron 32 and Claire 27. And I think this is also gonna be my second favorite couple because you know what? I like her. She's very pretty, but not that's not the reason why I like her. I like Claire because she's a therapist. So now I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, she's coming into this with some therapist experience, with her professional skills, with her educational level. So now she's going to maybe she's going to be able to think this thing through. And maybe she's watched the show in the past to kind of know
Yes.
what some of the pitfalls are for Married at First Sight. So what do you think about that?
It's different because he's the one that's from another country as well.
Yeah,
And
New Zealand.
Claire,
Yes.
yes. And now Claire, she's my favorite girl. I like her. I think she's going to be okay. Hopefully, it's not going to be too much on her, but it may work. The only thing I didn't like is Cameron is used to being alone because he said his parents divorced when he was like a teenager, and then his dad was always away. So he's used to being alone. And then Claire
Hmm.
was the opposite because she's like a quadruplet and she's used to always having someone around. So that is going to be difficult finding the balance between them two.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right. That is going to be something. That is definitely going to be something with the two of them. You're right. I hadn't thought of it that way. You're right. Because he said that his parents got divorced when he was only 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that he went to live with his dad, but his dad was a traveling salesman, which to me,
Yep.
that's crazy. Like, why would your dad ask for custody? He ain't going to be at the house. Okay. So he
Right.
was like,
A
he was raising
teenager.
himself, cooking his own steaks and potatoes and making his own meals and salad and just running the household. Like, I'm like,
Right.
dad just didn't want to pay child support. You know how these men are. He just did not want to pay that mama no child support because
Good point.
she was working a regular job. And even if he had to be a latchkey kid where you're at home for a couple of hours after school, that's still better than being a kid left at home all alone while dad is in another city. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Right.
crazy to me. Right. So the next up we see the ladies and the gentlemen, they go for the dresses and the tux, and I normally don't give a darn about that, but I'm only going to pull out a highlight. And so I'm going to ask you guys your thoughts about Lauren. When Lauren went to try on her dress, and she says she doesn't work out for nothing, and she was right, because when she put on each one of those gowns, her figure was exquisite, right? She looked
Mm-hmm.
very good. She looked very good and very sexy. Um, but her mom, they showed the pictures. They opened up this segment. They showed a picture of her mom, Pam, who's very youthful and very beautiful. And we find out that her mom has passed away just in April. So now we don't know when this show was filmed, but she's saying in April. So in any given year, like, you could only be a few months from April when you think about it, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
if it's October, you know what I'm saying? That's like
Yes.
we are now 10 months in, then that was like just 6 months ago, right?
Right.
So I can't imagine you're filming this and your mom just passed away 6 months ago. But she's a grown lady. She's 30. She's in her 30s, early 30s. But anyway, she considers herself a black Barbie. What did you think about the fact that as she was trying on the dress at one point, and they were showing, I guess it was her aunt, that they were on FaceTime, and they were allowing her aunt to pick between the last two dresses, and she got very emotional, and she went behind the curtain into the dressing room and had herself a good cry. You could hear her crying, and her girlfriends were very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
They went after her to support her and to comfort her. What did you think about that?
Oh, I really think that was touching. I loved how her friends genuinely supported her in all the interview scenes that we saw. But it was just so sad. That's tough because I still have
Yeah.
my mom and I just can't imagine. And then when she got behind the scenes, she was like, my mom would know which dress to pick. And I just lost it. I was like, oh my goodness, this
Aw.
is tough because that's true.
Mhm.
You kind of
Yeah.
depend on your close, whether it's a godmother or an older sister or whatever. It's just
Yeah. It's
I just
not
don't
the
know.
same as your mom. It's not the same.
Right. Yeah, even Claire, her story about losing a loved one close to her. They both really pulled at me. So I just hope that, Orion will be what she needs.
Right. I think he will be, because he seems to be very centered. He seems like Dr. Pia didn't jump in to say that he had a high emotional IQ, but from what I'm getting right now as a viewer, I'm sensing that he does. I'm sensing that he'd be the type of man that would be empathetic, and that
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't come across as arrogant. He doesn't come across thus far as a narcissist, or with a
Mm-hmm.
man with narcissistic tendencies. We'll go there. We'll say it that way, with he doesn't strike me as any of those things. So that's already a good sign, because, and in fact, outside of one or two, the one person that I've pinpointed that I sit, but I'm not going to say no names. Outside of this one person, I think so far everybody on the cast actually seems mentally normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they seem to be fairly well adjusted and balanced people. Young, but hey, that's the whole point of it. They're young, and this is their first time trying marriage.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to the bachelor and the bachelorette parties, and just some things that stood out to me. The the men got an eyeful, and we got an eyeful, because I said, now Lifetime need to be ashamed of themselves if they're gonna go to
Can we
soft
say
porn, huh?
can we say a face full?
a face full, a eye full. They was twerking in the camera. I mean, like
Listen.
when I can count the hairs on the, you
Ah,
know what? I as a woman and as a lady, I don't want to see all that. Like, I mean, it's
no.
one thing for the dancers to be standing up and we see them from the front, from the back, from the side. But when you seeing where they on the stage and they got their legs wide open and they showing all that into the camera,
Yes.
I'm not the one. That was
Too
too
far.
much. Too far, too far. But yeah, but speaking of which, who was it that got an eyeful? It was Michael, I think. He was all up close and personal, and he was looking at it like it was a work of art. And he said that he was enamored with the dancer. He
Yes.
was enamored. And then I think it was my boy handsome Brennan. Brennan was getting a whole full on out lap dance. I was like, what? Ooh, what your wife gonna
Hmm.
think about that? But speaking of his wife, Emily was over at the bachelorette party. What was she twerking on the wall or twerking? Girl,
Yes.
what was she
Emily,
doing?
she was having the time of her life.
I'm
And
like, go
Lauren
ahead.
was the sidekick because Lauren was helping to get up on the wall.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of like you now. You said the right thing early on. She is starting to give me Virginia vibe. Is she
Emily's here for a good time.
is she gonna be the boozer in the bunch?
I think. I think so.
I think so too. That's I got my eye on her for several reasons. I really do. I got my eye on her. And the other thing is that I wanted to talk about. So speaking of Emily and Brennan, now we get to the wedding day. So I guess they've had all this fun and shenanigans. And we see Emily now. She is, I guess, sober. She's sitting in the makeup artist chair. She's getting her face done, her hair done, did it up. And Brennan, he's standing at the altar waiting, and she comes in. What did you think of their connection at the altar?
I liked it. It seemed genuine. And I was like, okay, Emily got it back together. I was wondering how many days were between the bachelorette party and the wedding because she didn't look like she had a rough night at all
No,
the night
no,
before. But
yeah,
I liked it. I liked the connection there.
yeah, they were smiling. They were grinning and smiling at each other. He was
Hmm.
looking, and he said, like, he looked like he was thinking, okay, I could probably work with this. I could probably work
Yes.
with this, you know.
Yep.
I saw. Now, I'm just gonna tell you for real, my take on it. I saw him smile, but I also thought I saw a little bit of hesitancy on his part. I don't know what it was, but I will say though that I thought she greeted him warmly because I think they exchanged a nice little hug. And then for the
Hmm.
kiss, they went all in for the kiss. Now it was no Shaq and my girl there, Kirsten.
Right. Oh my
They
God, that kiss. I was like, wait a minute. Too much.
yeah, they was giving it away, and then I think they went in for a second one. I was like, okay, all right,
They're ready.
somebody getting some tonight.
Right? They gonna do it right. The honeymoon right.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can see that. So I was like, okay. But I think but the thing I want to ask you about, what do you think he's gonna say when he finds out that she is having never had a relationship and she has only went on 3 days with a man before these different men before they ghosted her? What is going on with that?
That's a mess, and I think he's going to see why because the Bachelorette probably showed me why, and just her friends. I mean, they were 100% honest talking about her and just not really being ready
Yeah.
in relationships. There is a reason these men ghosted her all multiple. It wasn't just
Let's go
one.
back to that. Kimberly, you bring up an excellent point. Let us go back to that because I highlighted that the young lady's name was Lily. And I thought,
Hmm.
well, doggone it, see, they don't really want a real marriage to work because if they really wanted it, they would have brought Lily on, the friend. I thought she
Yeah.
was, unless she's already married, she was attractive and she was very sensible. And she said something that made a lot of sense to me. And this is where I think while I'm watching this right now, I'm already comparing this girl, Emily, to over on Make Ready on OWN's Make a Move show. I'm already
Hmm.
comparing her to Charisse. She's very Charisse like. And why do I say that? Because she's always so busy focused on what does the guy do, what does he do that I like? Does he check off all the boxes? But like her
Hmm.
friend Lily brought it to the fore. She said, but what she never considers is how is she behaving and what is she doing to make this guy like her? Is she giving him what he needs?
Oh, yes. Probably
Hmm.
not, because it wasn't just one, it was multiple guys who ghosted her and she's never made it past the third date. That says a lot. And I think Brennan is going to see why.
Yeah, I'm like, and then one other thing on that note too. I got a question, and I need answers. So now, is she maybe, possibly a virgin? And the only reason,
Oh,
why I ask is because I want to know if she's never been in any serious relationships, is she still having activities?
yes, I believe so. If I'm not mistaken, they talked about it on the after party. I
What?
think they did. They said something about like when was your last intimate encounter? A shout out to Keisha Knight Pulliam. She's back. And I believe
Yeah.
she asked something like that. And they had all gave a day. And I was like, oh my God, they giving too much.
Right. Oh wow. Yeah, I would have just said, yeah, 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 because that's a lot. That's a
It's a
big
lot.
question to be asking on
Yes.
national
So
TV.
I think she's just, doing the bedroom action and moving on, which is common. If you
Ooh,
watch a lot of these dating shows, that is very common for people to have bedroom action with no commitment. It's
right.
terrible.
I was telling somebody too. I was telling somebody, another podcaster that should be here that's not. I was saying, yeah, because this is what they call, this generation that's currently dating in their late 20s, 30s, and early 40s. This is what's called like the hookup generation. They straight up hooking up.
Ooh,
Like,
that's
you think
it.
about people going on Tinder and going on these dating apps and these dating sites. They meet somebody, they decide to meet for a cocktail, a dinner, a
Mm-hmm.
lunch, and the next thing you know, they at home tearing off their clothes and they doing
Yep.
it. And then nobody calls nobody the next day because they might not even have each other's number. Really?
Right. Oh,
So
disgusting.
yeah. I mean, like to each his own, to each his own. But it could be kind of scary. It could be kind of
Yes.
scary. And I'm just saying, and my thing for her is as a woman, because we know, as long as society has existed, that men have always, displayed this behavior. Not all men, but men. Some men have
Right.
displayed this behavior, and as a someone used to say on this channel, out there slinging it. That's what a lot of men do. But
Mm-hmm.
for a woman like you to be that callous and that unconcerned about your body, if you're going to be impregnated, if you're going to catch something, if this man, after he does what he does in the bed, is he going to tie you up and, unalive you?
Good point.
I'm just like, what? Like you ain't nobody thinking about it? Yeah, that's
Right.
it, Ella. The hookup generation. Yeah. Well, but yeah, right. But that's for all cultures and all ethnicities, though. It ain't just brown people, black people. That's a whole thing in this country, and really, I think around the world. So
Mm-hmm. It
that's what
is.
it is. Yeah, right. But anyway, thank you for being here. You gave a wonderful recap and assessment, and your observations are, sorely needed here. I'm going to be over on your channel when you do your next, because will you be going live when it comes on again on Wednesdays?
Yes, I already have the link set up and everything. I must have been super excited for Mavs to come back.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I said, it was a B in my book. So that's real good for maths, because that's real
Yes.
good. That's real good. But tell them about your channel and tell them they can go over to your link. I'll probably, what I'm going to do, Kimberly. I'm going to put it on my community tab page. Okay, tomorrow I'll put it on
Thank
up
you.
tomorrow. Okay.
Awesome. Yes, please, y'all, come on over to Kimberly Reviews here on YouTube so we can watch Married at First Sight live on Wednesday night. So I'm not showing the actual episode live, but you'll watch it on your own device, however you watch your cable TV shows, and we'll chat about what is going on live while the show is happening. So I look forward to seeing you all over there.
Right. And tell them what else, because you also have travel blogs. Kind of, fill us in
Yes.
on the rest of what you have on before we wrap up, and we will be wrapping up shortly. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yes, so I love, love, love travel. I try to go somewhere every month. I've been doing that for a few years. So go on and check out my playlist for the vlogs, the places that I have been. I'm working on the vlog from last month when I went to Italy, Switzerland, and Vatican City, which Vatican City is the
Ooh,
smallest country in the world. So I was honored to go there with my girls and hang out. So
wow.
yeah, check me out for travel and debt freedom. I'm always talking about budgeting, being debt free, don't have a roommate. If you can't pay your bills by yourself, call me and we're gonna work something out.
Definitely, guys. I'll see you back here in a minute at about 6:30 with the guys as we do He Says She Says for that owns TV news show called Make a Move with the four women from the four Ready to Love alumni. All right. So we'll see you back here at 6:30 and then again at 8 for Ready to Love Tequila. Okay. So we're gonna shimmy and shake on out of here, guys. You guys have a good night. We're gonna say goodbye. All right. Bye now.
Take care.
Take care.